I want to share with you one of Neville Goddard's most powerful teachings, something he considered a secret key to transformation. Strangely, it isn't very popular, and later I'll explain why most people overlook it. But I need you to listen closely, because this isn't a technique that everyone can use. It is short, simple, and built around just 3 words. But those 3 words carry enough power to completely change the direction of your life if you use them the right way. If you are tired of your life repeating the same old patterns year after year, if you feel ready for true change, and if you are willing to open your heart and mind, then this teaching is for you. Take a deep breath, set aside distractions, and allow yourself to be present in this moment, because what you are about to discover has the power to change your reality in ways you may not believe at first. Let's start by being honest with ourselves. Imagine that you know someone personally who suddenly achieves something amazing. Maybe they get a promotion you dreamed about, maybe they start a business that succeeds, or maybe they attract the kind of love you've been longing for. When you first hear about their achievement, what's the very first thought that runs through your mind? If you're truthful, it's usually something like, how did they do it? You wonder how they managed to pull it off, especially if you've tried and failed before. That sting of disappointment often makes the question even sharper. Now flip the situation. Imagine you hear that someone you know has done something shocking or terrible. Maybe it's a news story, maybe it's someone close to you, but you hear about an action that leaves you stunned. What's the first question you find yourself asking then? Most likely it's, how could they do such a thing? Do you see the pattern? Our minds automatically run to the same kind of question. How did they do it? How could they do that? We ask this type of question all the time without even realizing it. Think about your own life. How many times have you wondered how someone managed to succeed at something you wanted? How many times have you silently asked yourself how people can behave in ways that amaze or shock you? You probably couldn't even count the number of times because it is so natural. And here lies Neville Goddard's hidden power. The very same question that flows naturally from us in daily life can also be the key to unlocking our desires, if we learn to point it in the right direction. Think about what happens inside you when you ask, how did they do it? Your mind doesn't just sit there. Instantly, it starts searching. Your subconscious begins running, looking for reasons, explanations, clues, or answers. That reaction is automatic. You don't have to try to make it happen. It just happens. Now here is the secret that Neville discovered. When you take that same question and turn it inward, when you stop using it only for other people's lives and apply it to your own desires, you trigger the same automatic search in your subconscious. But this time, instead of chasing failure, disappointment, or comparison, it begins to chase the assumption that your desire is already fulfilled. The moment you do this, something extraordinary begins to happen inside. Let's make this as clear as possible. Picture the desire that matters most to you right now. Maybe it's financial freedom, maybe it's perfect health, maybe it's love, or maybe it's peace of mind. Now imagine that desire has already come true. See yourself living in that reality. Imagine someone in your life who never believed in you, who may even have mocked you, looking at you in disbelief as they realize you achieved it. What would be the first thought racing through their mind? Instantly, they would be asking themselves, how did you do it? Do you notice what that question assumes? It assumes that the success is already real. It doesn't doubt. It doesn't wonder if it happened. It accepts it as fact and only searches for the explanation. And this is what Neville wanted us to grasp deeply. When you turn that question on yourself, when you ask, how did you bypass the usual resistance of doubt and fear? Your subconscious doesn't fight you, because the question itself assumes the outcome is already real. This is why the 3 words are so powerful. The phrase is, how did I? Not will I. Not can I. Not when will it happen. It's spoken in amazement, as if it's already in the past and complete. For example, Instead of wishing for money, you say, "How did I become so financially independent?" Instead of worrying about love, you say, "How did I find myself in such a wonderful relationship?" Instead of fearing about health, you ask, "How did I recover so quickly and completely?" Do you feel the difference? You are no longer begging or hoping. You are standing in the victory, amazed and grateful, as if it already happened. And here's the beauty. You don't need to find the logical answer to that question. That isn't the point. The power lies in the question itself, because it awakens the exact feeling of fulfillment that your subconscious accepts as truth. Now, not everyone can do this, and this is why the technique is not widely used. Many people hear about it, nod their heads, and say that makes sense. But then they stop there. They never practice it. They never feel it. They let it remain an interesting idea instead of turning it into a living experience. And if you do that, nothing changes. So I don't want to just explain this to you. I want you to actually use it. Your transformation isn't in the words you hear. It's in the feeling you create. So let's go through the steps together right now. The first step is to choose one single desire. Don't scatter your focus with 5 or 10 different wishes. Your subconscious responds best when your energy is concentrated. So take a moment and decide on the one thing that, if it happened, would change everything for you. Once you know it, turn that desire into a "how did I" question. Form it in the past tense, as if it already happened, and let it carry a sense of wonder. For example, how did I become so financially free? How did I attract such a loving partner? How did I land my dream job so easily? How did my health transform so quickly? The key is to phrase it in a way that makes you feel as though you were looking back on a miracle with amazement. The second step is to rest with the question and feel it. Do not try to figure out an answer. Do not use logic or force. Just let the question float softly in your mind, like a gentle tune in the background. As you repeat it quietly within yourself, something subtle will begin to shift. Your body relaxes. Your heart opens. A sense of wonder begins to rise. Soon, a familiar feeling comes over you, the feeling of being pleasantly surprised, grateful, and joyful all at once. Remember the last time life surprised you with unexpected goodness. Maybe it was an unexpected message, a gift, or kind words from someone. That mixture of astonishment, relief, and gratitude, that is exactly the state you want to live in while holding this question. That feeling is not an accident. It is the secret language of the subconscious. When you allow yourself to feel it fully, you are no longer outside your desire wishing for it. You are inside the experience, remembering it as though it already happened. The third step is to allow that feeling to grow into a state of being. Think of it as putting on a new identity, like wearing a warm coat or stepping into new skin. You are no longer imagining your desire from a distance. You are living it in your mind as if it's your present reality. When you hold the question, "How did I?" and allow yourself to rest in that amazement, you don't have to strain or force belief. The question itself carries the belief. It carries the assumption that what you wanted is already real. Stay in this state for as long as you can, without rushing or doubting. The longer you rest here, the more natural it feels, until it becomes the new atmosphere of your mind. And once you live in that state, your outer life will begin to bend and shift to match it. This is what Neville meant by the state of the wish fulfilled. The outer world always reflects the inner assumption. When you accept the state of your desire as already done, life rearranges itself around you, and what once felt like a dream slowly becomes memory. To make this practice strong, use it for the next 7 nights before you fall asleep. Right before drifting into sleep, hold your "how did I" question, and let yourself sink into the amazement of the fulfilled desire. Let the last feeling of your day be gratitude and wonder. Over time, that state begins to solidify, and your subconscious carries it into the waking world. So, I encourage you to begin now. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Take your desire and form your own "how did I" question. Write it down. Whisper it to yourself. Let it echo quietly in your heart. Allow the feeling of wonder to grow inside you until it feels real. That is the seed Neville left us, the secret path past resistance into the reality we want. And once you plant it, all of life moves to make it bloom.